Have you ever been confronted by a situation like this, where you are limited to how long you can save by the change you have on hand, cut your visit short by running to feed the meter, or just taking the chance that you're going to get a ticket? Well, worry no more. Welcome to True Engineering's final presentation.
I'm Sam Libman.
Miguel Colon.
Jason Kaman.
And Brandon Castillo.
And as always, our motto is to apply engineering and technology to current problems to provide simple solutions.
We see that the current status of meter parking is inconvenient and outdated. Customers often find themselves limited by the amount of coinage they have on them, restricting their overall space occupation.
In order to solve this problem, we will be introducing a new innovative product which will integrate new technologies which customers are already familiar with.
The product we are offering is a new type of parking meter.
Budget cuts have caused cities around the world to find alternative avenues of revenue while maximizing operating efficiency. True Engineering has developed a Parking Buddy, which automates the parking fee process for drivers in urban settings. The Parking Buddy provides a convenient, user-friendly, low-cost alternative for outdated coin-operated parking meters in cities around the globe.
Over time, the Parking Buddy system will pay for itself and increase the city's revenue.
The key to our product success will be the integration of technology.
One of the technologies we will be incorporating are multiple payment options for customers. Customers will be able to pay with credit card, coins, as well as other online services.
These options will maximize efficiency as well as revenue for these units because it will allow customers to pay with coins, credit cards, or online via PayPal or any other website that you can make payments from.
Giving people the option to use credit cards in place of conventional coin allows them to stay however long the maximum limits would allow them to, instead of being limited by how much cash they have on them.
The other important feature will allow the user to connect to our central database and allow them to communicate with each individual unit.
By placing sensors under each parking spot, we will be able to monitor the vacancy of each location, which can be posted online and integrated through a user's phone application.
The same phone application will allow users to receive live updates about their parking spot, in addition to refilling their parking meter electronically.
This will also alert and notify the user as their time is about to expire on the unit. These two solutions will help solve the problem of inconvenience that customers have.
And they will no longer be limited to how long they stay by how many coins they have. Naturally, True Engineering is not the first group to enter this market. If True Engineering ventures into the parking meter market, there will be competitors willing and waiting.
The competition we have identified are two areas, rather than two companies. One area, which is POM, which is a company itself, represents all parking companies. The other area, which we have also identified, are parking garages.
The reason we chose to analyze two groups rather than two specific companies is through our research we have found the products, services, and features offered by each individual company to be very close to identical.
We chose to dimensionally analyze each company's values with use of a spider chart.
We chose to rate each value or each element on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the most ideal relatively, whereas 1 is the least ideal.
The areas we chose to analyze were features, unit cost, cost to the user, unit efficiency, time limit, and convenience.
The Features tab in our graph relates to the overall options a user has when they use our product, such as payment options and the ability for technological integration.
And unit cost refers directly to how much the manufacturing, installation, and maintenance of each unit will cost.
The cost to user element is simply how much users will be charged to use each product.
The basis of our efficiency element will include monitoring, the capacity to have real-time updates to each unit, enforceability, contacting local parking enforcement, vacancy, the amount of time each space has been open, and running operations that increase productivity from being able to monitor all units from a single location.
The fifth tab, we compared our product with included time limits, which was a constraint felt by users that would limit their total amount of parking time based on the amount of coinage they had. This is not to conflict with time limits that would be already in place by those owning the lot, such as a 1 hour or 2 hour max parking, rather limiting users to the amount of time they could park based on the amount of money they had on hand.
And our final element, convenience, was determined by how easy it was to use a particular parking method compared to others, and location of parking from the user's final destination, and the ability to have real-time updates sent to users and monitors.
By taking all these criteria into effect, we believe True Engineering Solution to be the best option on the market.
Financial forecasts usually predict the growth of a company over 1 year. True Engineering predicts itself to be a slow and steady growth company, eventually coming into a profitable zone after a year or so. The main equity True Engineering will have will be its equipment and technology. That will continue to grow as the company expands.
Our investment requirements are that we would need less than $100,000 to get started and operate for the first few years. We are expecting annual investment from parties of interest for a while. Metalworking, software integration, and technological integrations are expensive, which is a major source of our investment.
As far as debt versus equity went for our investments, we would need more equity-based rather than debt-based investments for the first few years before we became a profitable venture. For the usage of funds, the majority of our initial funds will be going to making the first batch of products, improving them, and setting up a network for the future of our company. We will need to develop a working prototype we could use to initially demonstrate to potential customers and also to gain recognition and popularity.
In order for the venture to succeed, the company needs to achieve a few noteworthy milestones during the first year of startup. Our highly motivated marketing and design team is committed towards adapting new technology for everyday use.
We broke our first year into 4 quarters. The first quarter we will cover mechanical design, electrical design, supplier network, network integration, manufacturing engineering. On the second quarter, we'll be working on prototype, beta site testing, revision. On the third quarter, we'll be dealing mainly with production. Towards the end of the year, we'll be dealing with initial releases.
The milestones, mechanical and electrical design, will focus mainly on creating a functioning system for the Parking Buddy.
Once our preliminary designs are complete, we would need to establish our supplier network in order to acquire materials for production. We will also work with integrating our systems into our partners' networks, which includes PayPal and major credit card companies. Alongside developing a fully functioning prototype, we will also be exploring manufacturing processes to enter production.
This will carry us into the second quarter, where we will hopefully have a working prototype and can begin beta site testing our product on a few test group subjects. This testing will carry us through the second quarter, where we will take input from all of the beta sites and make revisions to our programming and physical model.
Once everything that has been analyzed and the prototype has been troubleshooted, we will start production. At the beginning, we will try to keep our inventory lean. And once demand starts to pick up, we will increase our inventory.
As the end of the fiscal year approaches, we will be looking towards initial release, which would include marketing to establish a demand for our product and establish clientele. Another critical point in the development of the venture is to have a solid legal plan. In order to protect the intellectual property of the product and the company, a combination of patent protection and trade secret agreements will be established.
Trade secrets will be the primary use of protection, since the final manufacturing steps will take place through True Engineering before the product is sold to the customer.
As for protection, our company will patent our unit integration system. The reason being that our integration system is the most, or one of the most valuable part of our meters, and we don't want our competitors to copy it.
Automotive transport is not something that will disappear in the foreseeable future. Investments into our product will result in beneficial outcomes for both the customers and the users simultaneously. With your personal investment, we can guarantee technological integration will be brought into a new level with everyday use for the masses. We expect our venture to be a steady growth company as we expand and predict a return on investments within a few years of our startup. Thank you for your interest, and we hope to hear from you soon.
I'm Sam Lipman.
I'm Jason Kamar.
Brandon Castillo.
And I'm Miguel Colon.